My first video on this channel is a video defending the 2b2t wiki against people who wanted to get clout by making a 2b2t wiki page. However, since that video, the 2b2t wiki has been slowly moulding into a darker, more sinister group of individuals who wish to control 2b2t's history and modify it to their wants and desires. It's almost like they're trying to rewrite history. The 2b2t wiki has gone on a spree of deleting pages of people they disagree with. I think that the 2b2t wiki is now moderated by purely drama fags. The 2b2t wiki no longer wants to be a platform where 2b2t players can write about their 2b2t works, projects, and much more. No, the 2b2t wiki has turned into a platform for the players and groups that control it to put propaganda for their own agendas. The drama fag side of them comes out when a player who they dislike for whatever reason edits a wiki page or creates a new one who tries to contribute to the 2b2t wiki. And of course, when someone they don't like makes a wiki page or says something that they don't like, they have to revert it. Because only trusted 2b2t players can use the wiki. Trusted players only. And they define who is trusted. The 2b2t wiki won't ever say this directly, however. Instead, they will use words such as, "This page didn't have enough information," or "This is not relevant on 2b2t." In some cases, such as my wiki page deletion, they just said that there wasn't enough information, which is a poor excuse for deleting a page of someone they didn't like. You can see on this archive of my page which someone was able to snap before my page got deleted, that there was clearly enough information, and if there wasn't enough information, they surely could have added some. That's their job. They're wiki moderators. They surely could have added some more information. I'll give you a few of many examples of people who have had their page deleted or something else that the 2b2t wiki moderators have done. Let's start off with Commie, a well-known 2b2t player who has almost been a part of every major project on 2b2t since 2018. But multiple times the 2b2t wiki has deleted this player's page. Why? We don't honestly know. I assume it's because maybe one of the 2b2t wiki moderators has some kind of block game drama with them, and as revenge that moderator is censoring Commie from the 2b2t wiki. But here's the ironic thing. A player who joined before Commie, known as Elliot Rogers, has his own wiki page. Now I happen to know this player, however, none of the viewers would know him. He never played 2b2t much, but instead he played the fake 2b2t server called Anarchy MC, which is a known copy of 2b2t. And Anarchy MC ironically has moderators who act the same as the 2b2t moderators currently are, censor people they don't like. In fact, they ban players that they don't like on the server, including myself, who got banned from Anarchy MC simply because they didn't like me. And there's an entire video on Anarchy MC which is in the comments section below. Now it's like Elliot bringing the same principles the Anarchy MC moderators had bringing to the 2b2t wiki. If you read Elliot's wiki, he doesn't actually have much there besides him escaping 2b2t spawn and what he's done for the wiki. There isn't anything he's actually done on the server that has any relevance. So Elliot literally doesn't even play 2b2t, but he gets a wiki page because he's friends with the 2b2t wiki moderators. In fact, he is a 2b2t wiki moderator. Now on the other hand, Commie has done countless things on 2b2t, way more than Elliot, countless many things more than Elliot. Commie is literally a part of every 2b2t major event. But Elliot gets a page because he helps the moderators ban people on the wiki that they don't like, and he's a censor. Now you're probably wondering how I know Elliot Rogers. Now just to clarify, this isn't the famous incel who shot up a school. No, he just named it after that. It's a drama fag who used an edgy identity in his username. Now Elliot, as I said previously, played Anarchy MC at the time in 2019, and I sadly did as well, and that's what I said I got banned for before. Elliot was one of the players on Anarchy MC who was friends with the administrators, as I said before. Elliot was a part of a group known as Void, which is one of the Anarchy MC's largest circle of drama fags, who schemes daily to take down a group known as the Imperials, which at the time I was the leader of. Elliot and his comrades thought it would be a great idea to dox myself and put it everywhere on the internet. So they did. Void posted my docs everywhere they could, And Elliot of course did his part by uploading the docs to my 2b2t wiki page. He put my name all over the 2b2t wiki page. He even put a link directly to my page on Doxbin. And not one single moderator on 2b2t at the time did anything about it. After complaints I made, I tried to ask them nicely to remove it, but no, they didn't do a thing. So I eventually went to the provider of the 2b2t wiki, known as Miharez. I don't know if I butchered the name on that, but I'm sorry if I did, which removed the personal information and gave a warning to the 2b2t wiki, but you can't upload personal information and keep it on there. Now that was just a warning. Miharez gave them a warning. And this was the people who own the wiki provider. So I had to go to the people who run, who keep the server up for the 2b2t wiki, and tell them. I had to go above the actual wiki itself, because the moderators of the 2b2t wiki would not remove a docs. And I don't think they've learned from this mistake. So just let that sink in. The 2b2t wiki was keeping personal information of players such as myself on pages, and when players tried to remove their own personal details from pages, they reverted it back. Literally, the moderators tried to revert when I would try and edit it, right? They would literally go there and put my docs back there. And this wasn't just Elliot, by the way. If you go to the history, which they've deleted, by the way, but there's an archive which I'll link in the description, which has the entire list of the edits of that page. I think it's all of them anyway. You can actually see that one of the moderators, after Miharez locks the page, one of the moderators of the 2b2t wiki unlocks it. Now the page was locked because so many of the moderators from the 2b2t wiki were re-editing it to put my docs there. So Elliot's told all these people that doxing and putting my information there was good, and they've all done it as well. And I can assure you that I'm not the only person who's had this happen to. There's other people who I won't mention, because if you go onto their the history of their page, you'll actually see their personal information on there, because unlike me, they didn't actually know that you could go to the Miharez wiki, which I already did because I've had experience with this before, but they didn't know that, so you can actually see their personal information on there, which I'm not willing to share, but it hasn't just happened to me. Now, of course, the 2b2t wiki states in a long article they made to try and fix the issue. Well, we'll get later into this, but it wasn't actually the 2b2t wiki. Now, they say, quote, Mr. CK10's page had a very personal information posted to it in February. Miharez admins had to take it down themselves because he did not notice it, end quote. This is their excuse for not noticing a docs. If they didn't delete my page, I could show you the edit logs. But the best I sadly have is an archive of the page. Because they've deleted it, and that also deletes the edit logs from my knowledge. If there is any way of getting those edit logs back, someone please message me and I'll link them below. Now you can see that Elliot and other moderators reverting my page until the Miharez staff steps in and tries to remove it. But even then, they tried to revert it back to the docs. But then the Miharez staff had to actually message the owner of the wiki and cut it out. It was a warning to say that if you don't stop this, your wiki will be deleted. So only after threatening them to do that was the wiki only stopping it. And I've assumed that they don't even stop now, because well, we're going to find out. I'll save it for a bit. I want to put some more quotes in, but there's something a bit more sinister that goes on with this whole article. So the 2b2t wiki has had a long slate of history of doing things like this. It's sad that the so-called 2b2t wiki has a moderation team who does these things and enjoys doing these things. The moderators of the 2b2t wiki will usually call me irrelevant when I ask them why my wiki page was deleted, and they say this to other people as well. However, this channel alone gets more monthly views than the wiki's total monthly views, which is something in itself. But let's hypothetically say that that doesn't matter. The wiki moderators didn't clear my name from every 2b2t wiki page, as they should have if they were doing their job of hiding me from the wiki good. So they're basically lazy. Instead, they left little hints of my existence on 2b2t's wikis. And of course, these are all negative, but just by searching my username on 2b2t wiki, you can find many pages that have information about me. Of course, all of these are negative information because the 2b2t wiki wouldn't allow any positive information to shine on the wiki. They don't like having people that they don't like seem good. in any type of way, so the 2b2t wiki proves that I'm relevant, as cited as being a part of many events on 2b2t. Even on the 2b2t's wiki's Discord, I'm mentioned over 100 times. Now, I'm not trying to flex my clout. Many other players have this too. More people have more clout than me, and their pages get removed. But this also happens to them. The same effect happens. We're just trying to prove that the 2b2t wiki is biased. The ironic thing is a large portion of their notable players section, they have a list of notable players, so they define them as notable players. But they're all friends of the 2b2t moderators, and half of them I've never actually seen. The only people I can really recognise are really famous people such as YouTubers, or maybe some Anarchy MC players. And literally Anarchy MC players get on the notable players list, but actual 2b2t players, there is less 2b2t players that I can notice and who play actively than there are Anarchy MC players. So they have a fake Minecraft server, have more notable players than the actual 2b2t wiki. There are many names here that are not even relevant at all, but the 2b2t wiki again is obviously biased. Another example of the 2b2t wiki being extremely biased is not adding the large group to the wiki known as the 11th incursion. Many people watching this channel may not like the 11th incursion, nor support them. They did bot the server and they did hold up the queue. However, they still deserve a wiki page to be added, no matter if they're hated or liked. But again, according to the 2b2t wiki, they said that the 11th incursion wasn't relevant enough. Now, from previous experience, this code words for "we don't like you, you're not getting a page because of that." The 11th incursion for a long period of time botted 2b2t's queue, making it much more difficult to enter the server for new fags. They tried to make the queue so long that new fags would not want to enter the server. They made several spawn bases, such as the famous McDonald's base, and made a lava cast belt which covered the 3k radius of spawn entirely of lava casts. Other 2b2t incursions who didn't even do as much as these guys gets pages, but because they have connections to the 2b2t wiki moderators, they can have a page. But the people who don't, and the people who are hated by the 2b2t moderators, they don't get a wiki page, because the 2b2t wiki page doesn't care about facts or history, they just care about their emotional connection to the person. Now, I'd like to share some statements made by a few players about the wiki. Nash Tass said, quote, "Lord Gavatron MC is a perfect example of a lazy, inactive, and greedy wiki staff member. I hardly noticed this person online, just like the other staff members, who do nothing, unless if they need to violently act up because they're upset or see something that they don't like. As stated earlier, Jared 2013, also known as Cremation Enthusiast, griefed the wiki in a past with his friends, such as AutismBot27. Today's attempt was considered to be a grief, as you entire Discord was formed to maliciously exploit both of the Discord and the wiki. Not only did you decide to be unprofessional, quote, staff, by pinging everyone multiple times and unbanning unwanted players, you had violated Miharez's TOS, Terms of Service, in which I had contacted a staff member to resolve the issue alongside a few others." End quote. Now this goes on a while, but towards the end it says, quote, "For those who are reading, do you really want to re-promote a person who supports the illegal sharing of personal information?" End quote. Now, just to re-emphasize this, Lord Gavatron MC is actually a current moderator of the 2b2t wiki. I've had personal beef with him before, as he wouldn't let me edit the Imperials article and several other pages on the 2b2t wiki because apparently it wasn't accurate and historically accurate, even though Lord Gavatron MC had no idea about the pages that I was editing, because he doesn't actually play 2b2t. This shows that the wiki doesn't actually listen to people who have tried to get people like this removed. Instead, they keep them there because they know that there will be good little drama fags who will remove anything but is against the personal interests. That way, they can write 2b2t history in the way they want. Now, Joey Coconut is a well-known 2b2t player who is currently basically running the 2b2t wiki. Here's what he had to say about Lord Gavatron, the moderator who likes to dox people. Quote, "I have known Gavatron for a long time. He has always been a kind and fair man. For his entire time on the wiki, he has worked tirelessly, writing and editing articles with a professional attitude. He does not act like this, many others within the leadership. And he also has grammatical capabilities. He acts with professionalism. For an editor like me, he is strong boon, and I'm appreciative to have him in the community." End quote. So as we can see, Joey likes the fact that he can edit articles. Not to make new ones, to simply edit. To edit and censor information that he doesn't agree with. Here's another quote from the proposed changes to the 2b2t wiki document. Quote, "Before I explain about this stuff, I'll explain this entire incident is out of revenge, primarily when cremation entheist, better known as Jared 2013, attempted to grief the wiki while being hosted on Fandom. In a personal post, he explains why he griefed the wiki, making awful claims of, quote, a lot of false info. Quote, Fandom responded to this and banned him from using their services alongside his friends. What is being omitted here is that Joey, Galvatron, and Henry and his friends and support his always destroying of others' work and doxing, characteristics we shouldn't see." End quote. Now the person who wrote this compiled a lot of these quotes and information was doxed. One of the 2b2t wiki staff, not long after he made this proposed document, got doxed. One of the 2b2t wiki staff doxed him because he made this document. Now, if this all doesn't shock you, I'm not sure what will. The 2b2t wiki needs to step up its game in order to be not replaced by a new wiki. There's already been several new wikis made in the time of this happening because it's so biased and people are getting sick to death of this. If the 2b2t wiki keeps acting like they currently are, people are going to move away to other wikis. It's a shame, since a few bad moderators should ruin 2b2t's best historical sites. In actual fact, it's not a few 2b2t, it's not a few bad moderators. It's the majority of the 2b2t moderators on the wiki who are making this a really bad experience. I think that there really needs to be a moderation change for 2b2t's wiki. I think Mirrors need to step in and remove these people from having anything to do with the wiki because they're dangerous and they're not going to be good for the 2b2t wiki. The information on the wiki needs to be protected from these people, and the history of 2b2t needs to be preserved. With these people being the moderators of the 2b2t wiki, that information, that history, is at risk, and the whole wiki itself is at risk of having more of this happen in the future. If they've allowed this to happen before, then don't think when people aren't looking in the future that they'll do it again. These moderators who condone doxing people they don't like, censoring people they have drama and beef with, and most of all denying this all, need to be removed from the wiki. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't liked it already, please like, and if you haven't subscribed already, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.